Hi everyone, so it is that time again. It is month we are coming in with another lovely fancy fold for you. It is a diagonal joy fold card. If you haven't been here yet, this is a challenge run by Monika, aka Pomona, every month under the hashtag of FSC Challenge 2023 and has several more members, Monika, Christine, Jenny, Carrie, myself, and a very warm welcome to a brand new member this month, Sabine from Cross Keys Cards YouTube channel. So every month we will show you our own take on a different fun fold, and this month, as I mentioned, it's a diagonal joy fold card. All of these other members' videos will be linked in the description box below. Make sure you go and subscribe and check those channels out as well. Starting off with a 6x6-inch card base, I'm going to cut down the front of it diagonally from the top left to the bottom right corner. It's very easy to line this up in the groove of my trimmer, where you can use your guillotine or your scissors also. If you find that your blade leaves you with that lip there alongside the cutting line, just run your scoring tool all along it and it will smooth it out nicely again. So this is the card base, basically one half of my card base. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to use to decorate. So it was one of the box kit magazine by Practical Publishing, and this one was designed by Chloe's Creative Cards. And I've used this stamp set before on different cards. This is gorgeous. I in fact made 5 different cards for the magazine as a commission, and this one was volume 15. It is so lovely. So there was some of the flowers that I prepared. I will show you what I used in a minute, but I also will use some of the papers from the kit today. There are lots of lovely designs, and the kit doesn't have a thank you stamp, so I'm going to pick one of the thank you sentiments in here later. My first idea was to make a Christmas card, but then I realized that I'm running very low on thank you cards, which I use a lot, so I decided to make a thank you card instead. For my stamping for my images, I used the polished silver Wow embossing powder and some of my aqua markers from my stash that I have to color those in. For the mats and layers on my card, I'm going to use silver holographic cardstock today, as well as those design papers from the magazine. So the 2 holographic squares are cut to 5 3/4 of an inch square. One of them goes on the back panel, one of them to the front will have to be cut diagonally again from corner to corner, just using my trimmer, and this will leave me with a nice border. The design papers I'm cutting down to 6.5 by 6.5 inches, and now in here I will have to decide which one I want to add to the background and which one to the front to the triangle. And eventually I will settle with the floral one going onto the background. So it's the green one. The diagonal white lines I have to cut diagonally again. And the blade in my trimmer must be going a bit blunt because it left it quite rough, that edge on this thin paper. So I cut just a little smidge, like a hairline bit away, not even 1/16 of an inch, just to tidy it up a bit with my guillotine. Now I'm going to glue this down off camera, and this is it all layered up. It's looking gorgeous. This on itself would be a lovely card base, but today we are going for a joyful card. So I'm going to have to add my next card base in here, in which I decided to go with an oval shape. I'm using the Creative Craft Products Nesting Oval die set, and I have a piece of cardstock here folded over in half, and I'm going to cut this out with the oval overhanging on the top of it. And the cutting line just overhangs a smidge in there to create a hinge when I send this through my die cutting machine. The size of this largest oval I'm using today is 4 inches by 5.25, just for reference. In around that size something would work fine. And I'm also going to cut it out of one piece of cardstock, the whole oval this time, so just to cover up that hinge later. I've taken the next 2 die sets as well. So the next smaller one I cut out of holographic silver cardstock, and the smallest one just of plain white. That is the one I will decorate in a minute. First of all, I'm going to glue this inside my card. So I'm taking my collal glue, it will leave it nice and strong. I'm going to glue this large oval card base in the middle of my square card base, so it is opening to the right hand side, so the hinge would be on the right hand side of that oval cardlet or little note card. just like this. So it opens up nicely on top of that triangle. Now I'm going to add that extra layer of white, which I cut out with the same size die, just to cover up that hinge on the right hand side. It's quite optional, but I like to do this. It's just a little extra step to make everything look nice and professional. Now I'm gluing down the holographic layer on top of that as well, and then I will set my card base aside just to let everything dry and strengthen up nicely while I'm going to work on that top layer on that white piece of cardstock. And this is a watercolor piece of cardstock, the same as I colored my flowers on in. So I'm adding a little bit of a salvage patina distress oxiding, and I'm going quite rough in here. I'm not looking for a smooth blend. The way my brain was going with it in here, just to create a background, like a cloudy background. I don't know, just to grind those flowers a bit, not to have them on the white background. I didn't like that. I wanted to add something extra. I sprayed some water in there and I blotted away the excess with my paper towel. Before gluing down my flowers, I'm giving it a blast with my heat tool because I want this to be nice and crisp dry before applying glue. I don't want this to start ripping. It was quite wet. I did spray quite a bit of water on it, which you couldn't see on camera much, but there's quite a lot of visual texture on that little piece of card now. So in here, I'm just arranging the flowers, and I'm going with the idea that I first had, just kind of creating a little meadow in there. I end up using only one of those beads, not the both of them, and I'm just going to use my quick grab glue in here to attach these flowers to my oval card shape in there. And I'm just using that excess piece of paper in there to catch all that excess glue. I I don't know, sometimes I just get really fed up, tired of cleaning my glass mat constantly. So yeah, I just like to use a scrap piece of paper to catch all that glue in there for me. And I'm just arranging them in all different ways, just like a little meadow in there. And then I'm gonna come in with some of the foliage just to fill in some of those places. And same way, I'm just going to glue them down. I end up only using one of those beads that I colored in, the one that has the black in it too, because on the other one, everything is just yellow and silver. It's a lovely one. But I thought that the pop of black looked lovely in there. It just showed that it really is a bee there. And this is such a lovely stamp set. It really is. I've used that before on a card, and it was sitting in a box beside me to remind me to use it again, because I did really enjoy using this stamp set, or the whole kit, in fact, before. So I was just excited to pull it out again today. I'm going to add some double-sided tape at the back of this oval because it's going on top of holographic card in there. But I'm going to reinforce it with some liquid glue. This will leave me with some wriggle room to get it in place, and also will help strengthen the bond up between the two cardstocks. I'm going to add my bee. I don't know if you noticed it, but I pulled the wings up a bit, so there's a little bit of a dimension to that. Now there's loads of room in there to write or add the sentiment. I wanted to add a thank you to this, and then here, the two that I originally wanted, either this one here on the left hand side, which has the same pattern as my background, or the other one was a little bit bigger. None of them really, I didn't have really room for either of them. But then I noticed that there's that wee strip of thank you in pink background, and I've cut it out there, and I decided to go with this one. But I did play with the idea of not adding my sentiment on the front of my card. I would add some sentiment stamp in the oval there once it's opened. But then I decided to use this one. I thought it looked nice on the top right corner, and I have layered that up on a slightly bigger white heavy cardstock in there as well. And now only one step left. I'm giving it a quick blast to make sure everything is nice and dry, and I'm coming in with my dry clear glue. If you've seen my videos, you know what's coming. I hadn't planned this, but as I was looking at it in here, I said, I must do. You know what's coming. It's a bit of a glitter. So I'm bringing in my pot of Crystallina. This is the fine Crystallina from Chloe's Creative Cards, and I'm just sprinkling it all over my oval. and I'm dipping it all back into that pot. Now you can see that glue is very white in there. It will dry clear and you will not see any of that glue, but you will be left with some gorgeous sparkle, which I will be adding some footage at the very end of this video, so please stay tuned because it looks lovely. There is a lot of room for a message on that oval or on the back of that card, and you could add another sentiment stamp or sentiment die cut onto that oval as well. So there's a lot of room, and also on that triangle there on the left hand side you could add an extra message. So there's a lot of way to add your personalization to this one yet. So this is the way it would display. That's the closest I can show you in here, but I will show you some footage in every minute when everything is lovely and dry. And make sure you check out all the other ladies tutorials in the description box below as well. Make sure you show your support. It is so interesting to see all the different takes on the same foam fold. I, for one, am very excited to check out all their tutorials. Go over to their channels and show your support by subscribing, liking, and commenting if you like what you see. You can also post your own makes in our Facebook group or anywhere on social media using our hashtag, which is on my screen right now. I really hope to see you back soon for my another tutorial. Please subscribe if you haven't yet done so and hit the notification bell. I will see you back very soon. Until then, bye!